occasion that we need to connect. I will briefly request you that we have, as we proceed, we will have question answers towards the end, and when we do, my request is that the questions come in writing to me or to Samir, who's here. He will collect the questions, we will collect the questions and then respond, because otherwise we will not have the ability to respond multiple questions at the same time. So it's a request, please give the questions in writing and mentioning who it's coming from, so that we can identify the newspaper or the media. We have with us on the table our senior teams, and I will request Mr. Paul Bulcke, CEO of Nestle SA, to take over from us.
So, do you hear me?
Leave it there.
Do you hear me? Good morning, all. Thank you for coming. This is an important press conference, and I thank you all for your interest and your presence here today. Let me first introduce myself. I'm Paul Bulcke. I'm the CEO of Nestle Worldwide from Switzerland. And I have here with me on the table first Etienne Bennett, who is the Managing Director of Nestle here in India. I have here to my left Shivani Hegde, who is Managing Director of Nestle Sri Lanka, not only for a few months, but who has been responsible for Nestle, for Maggi noodles here in India for more than 15 years. I would say she's the mother of the Maggi noodle brand here in India. And we have on my right Sanjay Kakuria, Head of Corporate Affairs here in Nestle in India. Now, I have mentioned that this is an important press conference, and I want to speak here about the Nestle noodles, Maggi noodles here in India. They have been heavy in the press, and if I see you all here, I can understand that you have a keen interest. It has been heavy in the press in negative terms lately. I would say we felt at Nestle unfounded reasons, but it has led to confusion. And I would say it's something fundamental that is very close, and our first priority, trust of our consumers, has been shaken. And that's why I'm here. That's why I came also from Switzerland to observe and see, analyze the situation and take decisions. And you have seen already with yesterday the decisions that have been taken. We found that the trust of the consumers and the safety and quality of our products, which is our foremost priority, has been shaken here. Unfortunately, I must say, recent developments and growing concerns about the product has led to that confusion, and that has then given us this feeling that there was not the environment anymore to provide an atmosphere that has the trust of the consumers, and that's why we have decided to take the products out of the market temporarily. I must say, the product, the Maggi noodles in India, are safe for consumption. And that may sound very hard, it's very affirmative, and it is. And we base that Nestle applies, I must say, the same quality standards and the same procedures and safety and quality assurance methods everywhere in the world, the same. And that applies prominently also for the Maggi noodles here in India. But responding to the recent events and worries, we have extended with additional tests. Over 1,000 batches of Maggi noodles have been tested in the last days. And we have actually extended them even with complementary tests with third parties accredited labs and laboratoria. With 650 other batches have been tested. And all results that came out of this indicate that the Maggi noodles are safe for consumption and are well within the regulatory limits established here in India. And we have shared these results with authorities, and we have been also linked up online with the broader public on this issue. And now there was additionally an issue on the added MSG that stated on the label. We do not add MSG in the Maggi noodles, but it is some ingredients like groundnut proteins, like also onion powder and wheat flour, have or contain glutamate in a natural way, and as such may be present in or are present in the product. But we do not add MSG to the product as stated. Now, that may lead to confusion, apparently has led to confusion, and that's why we also decided to take from now the mention of no added MSG from the label, not to have that confusion. So that's where we are. So first, the Maggi noodles in Nestle India are safe for consumption. The atmosphere and environment is not conducive. Trust has been shaken, and therefore is not conducive. We felt to have our product on the shelf, in spite of the product being safe. I said, product quality and safety for Nestle is paramount. It's the first priority. That translates in trust with consumers. That trust is shaken. And it is now our intention, and with the consumer in mind, that we're going to work and do everything in our what it takes, everything what it takes, to work also and to clarify with the authorities the situation, and to have the Maggi noodles back on the shelves as soon as possible. I think that's what we said yesterday in our statement. That is what I want to share with you. Looking at you, that's what we will do now. There's many things to do, and I feel the first priority is engage with all stakeholders to clarify what we feel and found in confusion. I'm now open for a few questions. You know, there's a few.
That's going to be a little difficult because so many people. Can you please write the questions? I can take one or two while the others write the questions.
Maybe I'm sure. Let's take one by one. I'm sure the questions are all more or less the same. So with a few questions, we're going to answer many of your questions. So please.
Hi, this is Preetika from the Wall Street Journal. I have two questions. One is, why has it taken Nestle 2 weeks to do a press conference? And the second is, are you all stopping production of the noodles? Could you give us a time frame of what is happening exactly? Has the production been stopped across all factories?
First question, why it took certain times? Because we have been in intensive discussions, and as you can imagine, with the authorities. To clarify, to show our arguments, and to show our tests that we have intensified. We have permanent tests that we can deliver straight on every time. As the doubt started to prevail or to fade in the market, we have been in intensive discussions with the local and the national authorities to say, look, we wait for firm results. We don't have actually notification of any results of any tests done by third parties or by authorities. We don't have that. You can imagine we're not going to do press conference if we don't have the data, or there is speculation, there's only media, and we have to learn from media apparent decisions. So you can understand that we privilege first the direct relationship before we go public. We felt that we got to a point that the consumer trust was shaken, and that we know now, and we have to establish that trust. That's our first priority. That's why we are sitting here. That's why we take the product out of the shelf, having the product safe, because we privilege that relationship, perceived relationship with the consumer.